Hey everybody, welcome to eachother.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Malone Downloader J-Style Kayak Carrier here on our 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness. So this is going to be a pretty decent way, guys, of getting your kayaks up on the roof of your vehicle. That way we can start having some fun with our kayaks. Now we are going to have a 75-pound capacity with this bad boy, so I think most of us are going to be pretty much well in line to get our kayaks to where we want to go. What I like about the Downloader and kind of the thing that sets it apart from all the other adjustable J-style kayak carriers we have here is this little front plate. Now, yes, it does make it just a little bit easier to slide up your kayaks, and it's not the biggest save in the world, but the big thing about it, you can actually utilize the Telos side load assist here with this guy. So that is going to be a separate purchase, of course. We do have that available here at eachother.com. So if you find yourself having a little bit of trouble actually getting your kayaks up on the roof of your vehicle, that can be a great option for some. Just basically helps you walk that up and into position. Now, one thing that's nice about it, no electrical or gas components with it. Now, there are going to be those carriers available, albeit they are just a little bit expensive. So not going to be everybody's first choice in my mind. Love that we have that ability of getting us a little assist. But even if you don't need any kind of load assist, this is still a very decent carrier. We have some decent straps with it. I might recommend the E-Trailer Kayak strap down kit with this guy as well. Later on in the video, you're going to see not the biggest fan of the bow and stern straps. However, all the straps that come with this carrier are going to get the job done. We're just talking convenience here, so not going to be the end of the world. All in all, does a great job of actually holding our kayak up on here. It is going to be pretty lightweight as well, and with just the flange mounting system, pretty easy to actually get it installed. Now, I am about 6'1", so going to be a little bit easier for me to actually deal with this, and just to give you guys some relation of how this kayak carrier actually sits on your Subaru. But yeah, let's actually start taking a look here at how our straps are in place and how well the job it does of holding onto our kayak. So I wanted to give us a look here at our bow and our stern strap. What the Malone comes with is just going to be this little extra rope on an S-hook. Now, I will say it is a little limiting. You can see already here in the Subaru, not a lot of attachment points for that hook to go into. In fact, we're actually in our prop stick hole as well. So definitely going to be a little harder to make that work, and that's why, again, I would look at something like the E-Trailer Kayak kit. The strap down kit can come with these anchors, or does come with these anchors as well. Why I like these guys, all you have to do, simply place them in, drop down your hood, and then you actually have a temporary mounting point. And then you're not having to find another hole on the inside. Makes it a little bit easier. And to that end as well, I really do like how these straps work. One thing about them, we're going to have this felt covering on here, which is excellent, protecting that cam buckle from kind of corrosion and stuff like that, but also our vehicle and our kayak from it. Overall, just a great little kit that just makes it a little easier to actually utilize your carriers. Now, is this going to get the job done? Yeah, we're good to go, but let's go ahead and start taking a look at our other straps. Well, now that we have our bow and our stern straps removed, I did want to show you that when that is out of the way, you do have access here to your hatch of your Subaru, which is great. So love that our Keel is getting up and out of the way, and that way we can actually get that hatch open. But now let's take a look here at our main straps that are doing most of the work of actually holding our kayak in place. Now, when you are putting this on your carrier, we make sure that all the pressure of our straps is going into the carrier, making sure that our kayak is staying in place. So let's take note of how we actually had this ran. So you can see one end of our strap is going to be our cam buckle over here. I do like this felt as well. If you don't find yourself kind of putting it over your cockpit like we have done today, and even here to the side, I love that that's going to give us a little protection there on our kayaks. But let's take note of how our other end is ran. We have it underneath our tower here of our crossbars. We always recommend doing something like this. This gives you a great tether point for your straps to really hold on to your carrier and your kayak as one. And then we simply just need to take it down on the other side. We do have a very convenient plastic clip that makes it a little easier to actually get your straps on and off, which is great. It's just holding in place. The one thing I'll say though, sometimes when you go to take this down, that plastic clip likes to come with your strap as well. So trying to kind of pull it up and out as I'm doing makes it a little bit easier to hopefully avoid that interaction. Well, with our straps removed, we can go ahead and actually take off our kayak here. Now, I'm about 6'1", as I mentioned, so it might be a little bit easier for me than other people at home, but I do have a few tips and tricks to maybe help getting this kayak off. Here on the inside of our carrier, you can kind of see we have this well of space. What I like to do, push the bottom, or I guess the side of your kayak towards the inside of that. That's going to allow this to rotate towards you. And if you are a little bit shorter, it can be nicer to come here to the side rather than reaching all the way to the top here. But I like to rotate that a little bit. That makes it easier to get to this other element here, and that way you can actually get underneath your kayak. Now still, most of that weight is still on that carrier. I'm just kind of balancing it right now. What I like to do though, get underneath it, get my positioning, and then walk it right off. Now, the one thing about the Malone, it is nice for you to get to this position, and then you kind of utilize those sides to walk it up. Albeit, it does make it just a little bit harder to actually walk it off. Once you get over that hump though, you're ready to get going. Well, with our kayak removed, I want to take a closer look here at our carrier itself. So we do have our little plastic clip a little easier. See here, that does make it nice to get those straps in place before you get your kayak on there. We are going to have that aluminum construction underneath, which makes it really lightweight and resistant to corrosion. Even if you are seeing just a little bit of nicks and dings here and like that, still going to be resistant, which is great. On the outside here, we do have our Malone covers. Underneath that, you have a little bit of a marine foam. Now, I could see these guys not really liking the weather too much, but all we got to do, right, pull that off, let this air dry. It'll clean up in no time, which is great. And I like that we can actually take these covers off and wash them. You know, we got a little bit of mud on the hull or anything like that of our kayak. Nothing to worry about. We can take those off and get them cleaned. On the inside here, you are seeing just a little bit of padding on that front and bottom element, protecting our kayak once again, which is great. And again, I really do like that plastic cover at the top here, or ramp, I should say. It does help a little bit of getting your kayak on and off your vehicle. But the big thing with these adjustable guys is, of course, the ability to adjust them. To do so, all you gotta do, open up that lever just like so. The one thing I'll say, sometimes these teeth like to walk themselves out. On the other side though, you got a 10mm nut. All you gotta do, tighten those up, and that way you can bring it back in line. But let's see how much height at maximum we could get. With this guy, a lot of us aren't gonna be carrying it in this straight up position, but this is just a great way to make sure you're gonna have no trouble with your garage. So from the top of my crossbar here to the top of my Malone Down loader, I am at 19.5 inches, and we can quickly drop that down just like so. And that's gonna reduce our height quite a lot now from the top of my roof rack to the top of my ramp. That's putting me at 5 1/4 inch. So not a lot of length there at all. Now, hopefully you can pull this into the garage without having to take this off. But let's talk a little bit about how this actually mounts to our crossbars. Underneath here, we're just gonna have a little flange mount and 2 speed knobs on either side, allowing us to quickly take this off if we need to, and of course, tightening up and securing it to our crossbar. Now, the one thing I'll say about this guy, no innate security measures. We don't have a way of locking this to our crossbar. Now, if that's something that worries you, well, we have a couple things to deal with it. The first one is just gonna be taking this off our vehicle. And unfortunately, that is a little inconvenient, but can be a great way of actually securing your carrier. That mounting system makes it really easy to pop it on and off though, so that's pretty nice. But if that's something you don't wanna worry about, and you like taking advantage of the whole folding J-style kayak carriers and leaving it on your roof all the time, one I might look at for yourself is gonna be the Yakima J-Lo. That J-style kayak carrier actually has the ability of adding locking cores on it. That way you can leave your carrier on the roof of your vehicle when you leave it unattended. Well, after taking a look at our carrier, hopefully you guys are just a little impressed with it. I really do think it's a decent carrier for a lot of people out there. I love that we had that ability of adding on like a side load assist. That's gonna be really helpful, especially if you're just having a little trouble getting those heavier kayaks on the roof of your vehicle. Now, one thing I may have failed to mention, we do have this on our 59-inch crossbars here today, and that's gonna be really important for something like that load assist because you're actually gonna need that necessary room here on the side of your Subaru. So I would look at something like these 59-inch crossbars. That way you just have a little bit of overhang. But overall, it is still a really decent system. Love that can pull off those extra steps, get this guy nice and clean. And again, just those ability or those little features that help make it easier to get my kayak on there is really the big pride and joy here of the Downloader. Overall, a very decent system that's gonna get your kayak to wherever you wanna take it. Otherwise though, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Malone Downloader J-Style Kayak Carrier on our 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness. I'm Bobby, thanks for watching.